Hello everyone, welcome to yoga. During this practice we're going to do a 30-minute guided meditation. The form of the meditation is known as yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is made up of two terms, yoga, which is usually translated as union, and nidra, which is translated as sleep. But for our purposes, it might be more useful to think of yoga nidra as the practice of remaining aware through shifting states of consciousness. So to prepare for the practice today, I'm going to invite you now to find your way down into a comfortable position, maybe on your mat, or if you want to lie on the floor or even in your bed with a blanket. Go ahead and set yourself up in any way that feels very comfortable to you. And if you want to move into a chair for this practice, you're welcome to do this practice seated as well. So take a moment now, pause the video if you need, and build your nest. And then when you're ready, find your way down into your comfortable place. Restart the video if you need. And you can set your phone or your device down off to the side, so long as you can hear my voice. There's really no need to continue watching the video or have the video available to you. So once you settle into your comfortable position, go ahead and close your eyes. And take a moment just to notice what's happening in your body. And notice what sensations are present. And then start to notice your breathing. Before we begin the practice, you might find it helpful to take a moment to set a sankalpa, or an intention for your practice today. Sankalpa is a Sanskrit word that usually involves two functions. The first is your short-term intention and what you need from this practice today at this time to help bring you into harmony. And the other one is your longer term intention, where you're hoping the practice will take you in the long run over time. And you may even find that it's useful to help formulate your longer term intention in a short, simple, declarative statement in the present tense. I am free. I am awake. I am loving kindness. Whatever it is, take a moment to check in with your short-term intention and then shift to your long-term intention. And see if you can start to find a taste in your body of what it would feel like if you were in harmony and you had already realized whatever you're setting out to realize over time. Let's take a moment now to check in with your inner resource. Your inner resource is that place inside yourself where you feel a sense of stability, a sense of peace, a sense of well-being, and a sense of ease and security. So for some of you, just hearing that term, inner resource, may allow you to immediately direct your attention to that felt experience inside of your body. But for some of us, it takes a little bit more work. So if it's useful for you, take a moment to start to bring to mind a place where you feel that sense of ease and security, that feeling of being nourished. It could be a place in your home. It could be a place in nature. It could be a place from your childhood, or a place that you've visited. Or it might not be a place at all. It could be that you can locate your inner resource most readily by bringing to mind a friend or a relative, maybe a child or a pet. Or maybe for you it's easiest to bring forth your inner resource by thinking of some kind of ideal, like love or justice. Or perhaps bringing to mind a spiritual figure. And whatever it is, see if you can use your imagination, the power of your visualization, to start to bring forth that feeling of being secure, of being nourished, and having ease of being. And once you start to locate your inner resource as a felt experience in your body, maybe you can even begin to release some of the images and just stay with that experience, remembering that you can return to your inner resource at any point during the practice, or at any time when you're off your mat, going about the rest of your day. Let's bring your attention now to your physical body. And we'll begin this portion of the practice with the 61-point relaxation technique. I'm going to invite you now to bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. And if you find that it's difficult for you to bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows, you can picture a small ball of white light floating there, and let it move along with the sound of my voice as I name off parts of your body. From the space between your eyebrows, bring your attention next to the pit of your throat. And from the pit of your throat, shift your attention to your right shoulder. Next, right elbow, right wrist, tip of the right thumb, tip of the right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, the pit of the throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, tip of the left thumb, tip of the left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, the pit of the throat, center of the chest, right side of the chest, center of the chest, left side of the chest, center of the chest, the navel, pubic bone, right hip, right knee, right ankle, tip of the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip, the pubic bone, left hip, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, left knee, left hip, the pubic bone, the navel, center of the chest, the pit of the throat, the space between the eyebrows. Now see if you can feel your whole body at once as a field of shifting, percolating sensation. Bring now your attention to your breath as it enters and exits at the tip of your nose. And just observe the breath as it passes through your nostrils, noticing the sensations. You may begin to observe, for example, that the air feels a little cooler on the way in, a little warmer on the way out. You may begin to observe some other things about the breath as well. Noticing any differences in the duration or force of the inhalation versus the exhalation. And let's begin to add a count now. So on your next inhalation, you're going to say silently to yourself, inhaling 14. And on your exhalation, say silently to yourself, exhaling 14. And on your next inhalation, inhaling 13, exhaling 13. Continue breathing in this way, counting down from 14. And if you make it all the way down to 0, you'll start over at 14. And if you lose your count along the way, start over at 14. with your breathing. Allow yourself now to release the technique, release the count. Start to bring your attention to your mind. I'm going to invite you now to bring to mind a clear picture of what you were doing about 30 minutes ago. So a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so before we began this practice. And see if you can get a clear picture in your mind of a moment from about 30 minutes ago. And then once you have it, rewind in your memory another 30 minutes to what you were doing about an hour ago. And once you have a clear picture of that, rewind your memory another 30 minutes. And just keep working back in this way, 30 minutes at a time. Don't get too hung up on being too exact about what you were doing. But just see if you can come up with a mental picture for each 30-minute increment. And keep rewinding your memory in this way. Until you make it back all the way to the first thing that you remember waking up when you woke up this morning. And if you make it back that far, then go back to the last thing that you remember before falling asleep last night and resume rewinding your memory 30 minutes at a time. Wherever you're at, let's release the technique. And allow your attention to start to shift back to your inner resource. Seeing if you can bring forth that quality of being safe, nourished, and full of that ease of being. Allow yourself to rest for a moment in that experience. And taking a moment now, set an intention before we exit the practice. Stay in touch with your inner resource and to move from this place of stillness that we've cultivated through the practice. As you engage with whatever lies ahead of you, when we emerge from this rest. And if you're comfortable where you're at, you would like to stay, feel free to stay for as long as you like. But if you're ready to begin exiting the practice, start by slowly deepening your inhalations and lengthening out your exhalations. And little by little, you can begin to reintroduce some movement back into your body. Starting small, and then gradually increasing the movements until you feel ready to roll to one side if you're on your back, and press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And from your comfortable seat, just bring your palms together in prayer position, Anjali Mudra at the level of your heart. We'll take one final moment for the practice of gratitude. Take a moment to bring into your heart and into your mind whatever it is that fills you with that feeling of gratitude. And allow yourself to interact with it in such a way that you can really feel it in your body. We'll close today by chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Feel free to add your voice as much or as little as you like. Inhale. Om. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka samasta sukhinyo bhavantu. May all beings everywhere know freedom from suffering. Namaste. Thanks for sharing your practice. I hope that that was restorative for you, nourishing, and I hope that if you find that you're having trouble over the coming days getting your mind to slow down and relaxing, that you'll consider engaging with this practice, or maybe finding another yoga nidra meditation or another form of guided meditation on the web. If you need some supplement to your already existing sitting practice, or if you don't have a meditation practice, maybe just take a moment, give yourself the opportunity to shut down your fight or flight response temporarily and allow yourself to slip into that mode where you can rest and digest. It would be the best way to process everything that's going on, help you feel grounded so that you can deal with whatever arises as things come and go. And remember that if you have any questions, you can reach out to me through the studio or via the contact information on my YouTube page. So thanks again for sharing your practice. And again, remember, if you're having trouble with sleep at night, maybe play this through your headphones if you have somebody else in the room with you that you don't want to disturb, or just let it play from your phone near your bed. Or if you just need a 20-30 minute break during the middle of the day, take a moment and replay this video. Thanks so much. Have a great day.